Congratulations on the film.
Thanks, man.
I spoke to some of your lovely co-stars and director last night, and
Oh, was that at the premiere?
Indeed, yeah, they're all so excited to share it with everybody. There was such a fever yesterday from all the
was
fans.
Was it fun, man? It looked fun.
Yeah, good fun. Lots of stuff. Yeah, I wanted to ask you about. I know you've spoken about makeup before, but I just wonder for you, and as an actor, your process. How did your interpretation of the Penguin / Oswald change when they put all the gear on? Because I can imagine you kind of
hugely
get a little bit more immersed in the character.
Hugely. I mean, when I signed on to do the film, I spoke to Matt about the character a little bit and what his vision for Gotham was, and he was incredibly detailed and extraordinarily imaginative and just bizarrely well researched. I mean, Matt has read every word that's ever been written on this world, and he has looked at every image I think that's ever been put down. So he was pretty clear about who he felt Oz was before Oz becomes the Penguin. And I had some ideas and I had some thoughts, but I was still struggling with what am I going to do? And I've got 6 or 7 scenes, and how am I going to impact the story or impact it? And then I saw what Mike Marino designed. And as soon as I saw the visage, as soon as I saw the face that was going to be my face, which I'd never had that experience before, seeing a face that's going to be your face. It's always going to be your face. I mean, I've worn a bit of a nose piece once, and you mess around with your eyebrows or whatever, but this was different. This was total submersion. So I started to, because the face of Oz as designed had such a keen sense of history and sense of violence and sense of threat, and also kind of something sympathetic to it as well. You know, I imagined he was a man that could also be quite vulnerable in a way in relation to the way that he looks. So there was all these colors and ideas that were coming to me based on what Mike designed. And then we tried it on the first time. It kind of overtook me, you know, behaviorally.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a great scene in the not to give anything away, it's in the trailer, the club, where you first see Robert as Batman, and you say, "Take it easy, sweetheart," in that great voice. I wondered whether that was a real kind of reaction. Was that the first time you'd seen him in the suit, and what was your reaction when you?
No, I'd seen him. No, I wasn't even as together as Oz is in that moment, even though Oz is quite impressed by this guy, because we don't know at this stage in the film. Oz as a character doesn't know. We don't know if Batman is a force for good or a force for evil. You know, what kind of vigilante he is or what side he's on. He's someone who still at this point is very much existing in the shadows, and nobody really knows what to make of him, but he's quite extraordinary looking. But when I saw Robert in the Batman suit for the first time, he was standing on top of a warehouse, backlit, ears were up in the sky, his cloak was flowing, and I was absolutely blown away. I mean, the kid in me just really, you know, 43-year-old man getting out of a car to shoot the first days. And I just thought, holy shit, there it is. It's quite moving, actually. You know, it's quite moving because you do realize that image, that kind of totemic icon of Batman has meant so much to so many people for decades, including myself as a teenager. You know, the Tim Burton films meant a lot to me, and the Adam West show when I was a kid. And so to see it in the flesh, or the latex, or the whatever the material, cotton or linen or whatever the material was really profound, actually, and a little bit nerve-wracking, you know.
Yeah, and you sound like me, a big fan of the Tim Burton movies. So I'm interested to know what Danny DeVito, who you started with Dumbo, made of. Have you seen it yet? Or,
I don't know. I don't know if he's seen. He hasn't. You know what? Maybe it's 2 thumbs down from Danny. I don't know. He hasn't. There's me being needy because he hasn't reached out to me. No, I don't know if he's seen any images. But when it was online that I was doing it, I got a text from Danny just saying, excited to see what you do. It's really cool. Congratulations and stuff. Danny's cool, man. They don't come cooler than Danny.
Maybe you'll get to have the black goo coming out of your face in the your spin-off.
Danny was great as Penguin, man. I wouldn't even good. There's no comparison. There's no
like perfect for Penguin. He's perfect.
He was brilliant. Yeah.
Colin, thank you so much for your time. I wish you the best with the movie.
All the best. Thanks a million, man. Thanks,
matey.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys.
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey!